Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rosado, and this is Online Marketing Moves. Today is November the 30th, 2020, everybody. Why do you hear all this enthusiasm? Because I'm fired up, okay? We are recording this Monday morning. It's 8:15. Now I woke up this morning and realized my phone was dead. It's like 2%. Now, I have pulled this off sometimes. One time in the early stages, I was at about 9% on the phone, and then I remember I talked, and then I got down to 1%, and then I said, all right, that's it. Good night, everybody, and boom. So, it was at 2%. I said, that's not going to work. That's not going to cut the mustard. So, I said, you know what? I'm going to break out the old iPad. And also, another thing that I learned this week, during my Thanksgiving week, you know what I learned, ladies and gentlemen? I was recording from a room in my house, and I realized that it sounded like I was talking in a tunnel, And I said, I listened back Saturday, and I said, hold on, this sounds like I'm in a tunnel, I said, I had the microphone close to my face, and I'm just talking, but to me, it sounded like I was in the tunnel, and I said, I know, we can't have that. So now today, Monday, we are recording from the car in the driveway. You see, you got to get the, when you're recording I am a professional broadcaster because, as you well know, the listenership is higher than the sky around here these days, okay? But anyway, when you're recording, you want to make sure that you have a great microphone. And then if you don't have the greatest microphone in the world, you want to make sure that you are in a room sort of enclosed, so that way you can get the best quality sound possible, because you want people to hear you. So that's why we are sitting in the car. No, I told my wife yesterday, I said, hey, it sounds like, I said, this room might have an echo. And she said, you think so? You think it's a little different than that old tiny ass truck you normally record from? I said, you make a point, sister, because normally we record. Normally, I give you a little behind the scenes. Normally, I turn the truck off, and then I close the curtain to get the enclosement, to get the nice sound, and then I record. But this week I've been at home, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't think to check the sound of the first couple of episodes, I'm like, and I finally checked yesterday, because as you well know, once I record, I really don't go back and, I listen, because now more I think about what I'm saying while I'm saying it, so I don't really have to go back and listen. But Saturday I was like, well, let me hear how it sounds in the house, and I was like, yeah. Didn't sound good to me. But anyway, how was your Thanksgiving week? Everything all right? Everything was good? Good. For me, it was nice. Of course, it's always nice seeing my lovely wife, spending quality time with my mother-in-law, watched TV, we ate good, we had a nice time, it was lovely, it was great. And then I didn't realize that Christmas is like 3 weeks away. You believe this? Christmas is only 3 weeks away. And it's like, man. And it's already November the 30th. And I'm like, can you believe it's... I'm like, where'd the time go? So for you and I, boys and girls, we got to close this whole year out strong, So we got to make it happen, Captain. Last week I made quite a few phone calls. Some went good, some didn't. I told you about the one. But we'll be back at it again this week. This is for you, this is for me, this is for all of us. It's the last month of probably, I don't know about you, but this is the last month of the weirdest year I've ever been through. And it's like, let's all try to end the year on a positive note. Let's all end the year on the positive and go into the 2021, with the on the positive side, and then of course, we'll keep the momentum going. I must say it's quite be careful if you live in Georgia today. I'm not the weatherman, but it's quite windy. It's kind of windy out here. And I just read about storms coming along the East Coast, so all my people on the East Coast, you have to be careful, Bring an umbrella, bring a jacket, bring the whole thing, But anyway, yeah, we want to finish out 2020 on a high note. As you well know, momentum. Once you get the momentum going, then you can take flight. All right? But now, after this lovely commercial, we will get into today's topic. All right? So, listen to the commercial. Of course, Anchor wants you to start your own podcast, which, I recommend you start something to, create the content. Of course, to establish yourself, establish your authority, establish your presence. So, whether it be video, podcasting, writing, whatever you want to do, start it. But I think a podcast is a good place because if you don't want to show, if people can't really notice, like, people can see you on camera and know if you're nervous or not, but in a podcast they don't really know that you might be nervous, so that's why sometimes audio is a little better for like people that have like nervousness, or you might have a twitch or something like that, and of course audio, because you can always be like, you could just take a deep breath and then you could just go for it. On the audio, on the video, they can see they can see everything you're doing, unless unless you're the type to just focus on your screen, Like if you're doing a YouTube video, you could do a minute of yourself talking, and then you can say, all right, let's go to the screen, and then that can always mask, if you're kind of nervous or something. But as you well know, and I've said this before, once you get into the habit of it, once you get to free flowing, once you get to talking, you get to doing this stuff on a regular basis, this will become like second nature, Like I woke up this morning and I told my wife, I said, I gotta go upstairs. She knows what I gotta go do. I gotta go do some recording, So that's that. But anyway, listen to this commercial and we'll get into the heart of the subject after this break. Hello everybody and welcome back. Now, today we are going to talk about overcoming objections, overcoming negativity, and moving forward. Now, I thought about this last night. I was watching my wife. We like to watch. Well, she watches more often, but whenever I'm home, I join her in watching a show called 90 Day Fiance. Well, this one is called. What is this called? Before the 90 Days. Before the 90 Days. It's it's a very interesting show. And I was watching last night, and it's this lady. She's 62, I believe. I think she's 62. And her fiance, boyfriend, whatever he is to her, he's like 32. And he's from, I believe, India. Yes. He's from India. She's from, America. And the first time she went over there, I guess he didn't tell her that he was married or whatever. But he didn't want to be married. It's a long story. I can't get into the whole story. But his family came in, barged in, basically kidnapped the fella and took him back home and told him he don't need to be with her. Blah 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 blah. You're married. Blah 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 blah. So of course she went back to America. She was crying. She was. But anyway, they got back together, I believe. He got divorced from his wife, because I guess he was in an arranged marriage, maybe. Don't quote me on that. But so now she decided she flew back, which you know, hey, love is love, I guess, you know what I mean? But she flew back. They are living in India, and I saw the episode yesterday. His parents came over, and he was trying to convince them. He was trying to overcome the objection of them saying, you don't need to be married to her. She's 500 years old, this, that, and the other. And she was just standing there, and he was very passionate, and he was very emotional about trying to convince them to say yes, so they would approve of his marriage. And I thought to myself, man, I don't know about that, but I was thinking to myself, in marketing, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, don't try that hard to convince anybody to. Don't try to convince anybody that hard or that much to say yes to your product. You know. Now, you know, it's like you ever see people and they're like, you know, please just try it out, please, please, please. It's like, don't be the desperate salesman. Don't be the person that's, you know, always asking, always begging, always kissing up to people, customers or whatever, you know. It's just like if somebody listens to this podcast and then they say, I would listen, but you do this, that, and the other. And it's like, okay. Who cares? You like what I have to say, or you don't like what I have to say. You know what I mean? It's not about trying to convince, trying to twist. You know, you're not in the arm twisting business. You're not in the how. I mean, because you'll be amazed what people try to do just to make a sale. Like, I was watching this guy, and this guy was on his knees. He was crying. He was boo-hooing. His mother was like, I'll kill myself. You know, I'm like, no. When you're trying to talk to people about different products you might sell or different anything, you know, work, anything like that, it's like, I'm not gonna beat my head against the wall trying to talk about a product that you are not even interested in anyway. If you are interested, okay, then I'll talk about it, you know. If they say no, it's like, okay. They say no. I mean, you could always follow up later on if you want, but trying to, you know, sweet talk or butter up or, you know, just grovel, beg, it's like, it's like, why do that? Because most of the time, people already have their minds made up, you know what I mean? Like, if you're it's like last week when I was emailing these people, texting these people, calling these people, you know, some people right off the bat, they, you know, like I emailed them and I text them, and they got the message like in 2 minutes. They never responded back. So it's like, all right, now all I can do is call, and I can say, hey, you know, I saw that, you know, I sent you information, and you know what half of them are gonna say this: oh, I never got the information. But on my on my phone, if you have an iPhone, if we're doing iPhone to iPhone love, then it pops up that this, you know, because some of these people have, you know, show that the message got read or whatever, and right there it says read at whatever time, you know, like as soon as they got it, they read it or whatever. So it's like, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, get you on the phone and, you know, for an hour try to beg you, take a free trial, please take a free trial. It's like, what? No, who's doing that? Who's in any part of your life? Who's gonna be out here begging, you know, and growling and doing all this and all that, you know? Man, no, don't do that. It's not a We're not in the hard selling business. We're not in the arm twisting business. In anything in life. We're not in, what I mean, most of the time people are interested in something or they're not off the bat, Like I give you an example, like my brother. My brother's a sort of a pain when it comes to anything because he don't give you a this is how I know how to deal with people because I've dealt with my brother for a long time. My brother, he's one of these people. You might know these type of people. My brother never says yes. He never says no. My brother goes, "Oh, I gotta think about it." And when my brother says, "Oh, I gotta think about it," that just means no. I don't even deal with him anymore, And he never. I mean, it's annoying. These people are just like, "Oh, I don't know. I gotta think about it. I don't know. I gotta think about it." It's like, what you gotta think about? If I tell you, hey, if you come to a car dealership, and you're like, "I don't know about this car or not," and then the car dealership goes, "Oh, you come in, you wanted to look at, we'll say, a Buick LeSabre, You come in, you want to look at a Buick LeSabre. So you look at it, and you go, "I don't know." And the car dealership says, "You know what, pal? We're going to give you the car 1 week. No ifs, ands, or buts. You drive it for a week, you bring it back. If you want it, we'll sign the paperwork. If you don't want it, just drop it off. No, we got no expectations, And if you came in looking for the Buick LeSabre, if you came in looking for that car and then they offer you that deal, and then you go, nah, I don't think so." At that point, if I'm the salesman, if I'm the car dealership, I go, "All right then, goodbye," because you came to me looking for the deal. Now I offer you a pretty sweet deal, a trial run, and you don't take it. Then after that point, that's your problem. You know what I mean? So this is why I say sometimes trying to convince people about different things, it's like, don't waste your time, because you could offer them the world and they still will shake their head and go, "I don't know. I don't think so." You know what I mean? So don't feel like you have to, do a lot of arm twisting and a lot of convincing when it comes to people's and their objections. You know what I mean? It's like, it's yes, no. If they had to think about it, then of course, but it's like, I'm not, we're not going to get into the, I'm not going to get into let me pull out my 50-page list of why you should do this or why you should do that. It's like, because the main thing is, for you to learn, if you want to get started on anything anyway, you have to take action. So me trying to convince you or me trying to sell you on something is not going to work anyway. You have to dive into these. This is just like online marketing. You tell these people about these products. You talk to them about the products. At this point, you go, "All right, you can either sign up, check it out for yourself, or, don't sign up and don't check it out." Because a lot of times it's more about the person and their mentality than it is you. So this is why, don't get annoyed, don't get frustrated when somebody says no. You know what I mean? When people say no, people object, people say no or whatever, don't get upset, don't get offended, don't get anything. Don't take it personally, because a lot of people, they put up roadblocks, and I'm sure we talked about this before, but a lot of people, they put up their own roadblocks, I mean, I've been in that position, you've probably been in that position, we've all been in that position where we think something's good for us, and then we're like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think I can do it. No, And then it's like, how you talk yourself into something, you can always talk yourself out of something. So that's how a lot of people do, So you spend time with people when you're trying to, when you're trying to talk to them, sell something to them. it's one thing if they say, okay, I got a question or two. It's like, all right, question or two is fine, but if they have 30 questions and they go, well, convince me, it's like, no. Why am I gonna try to convince you of anything? Why, like, sell me that. It's like when people go, you go to one, like I went to this job once and the guy was like, I went to this job once and this guy was, I filled out the application, they called me up, and it was some kind of, like roofing, like salesman for a roofing company, and then he was like, have you ever done sales? I was like, no. And then I said, but we sell the people all the time, I was like, so we are all kind of salesmen, I told him that. I don't know what made me told him that, but he said, oh, that's a good point. But clearly he wasn't gonna give me the job. I mean, I could tell that from the word go. And no matter what kind of talking I was gonna do, he wasn't gonna give me the job just because I never had any sales experience. And then at the end I told him, I said, I know I don't have any sales experience, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get the job, but I can't get any experience until I get a sales job. You know what I mean? I said, so it's kind of the catch-22 about this whole interview, I was like, I mean, I appreciate you bringing me in, but I kind of get the feeling that I ain't gonna get the job, And then he said, well, no, it's not that. We just got more candidates, And I'm like, no yes, no yo, no, but a maybe. And I said, maybe to me, because growing up with my brother, maybe just means no to me. So, and like if you told me, come to my house, during the COVID, I'm just going to tell you no. If you say, come to my house next year, I'm going to say maybe. And the maybe is not a no. The maybe is I got to see what these COVID-19 numbers are looking like, okay? If they're still kind of high, then that maybe is going to turn into a no. But, But for me, maybe, I just take maybe as no until you say yes. You know what I mean? So, overcoming people's objections is one thing, but don't grovel, don't beg, you don't have to do all that. I was watching that show yesterday and I was laughing. I was like, oh, this is definitely going to be the topic of the day. Because I said, this guy was hard selling. He was selling hard, I feel like he should have told the girl, he should have told Jenny, stand up, Jenny, twirl around, show him why I'm made. Not just kidding, but it was quite interesting, sometimes you have to, I've watched a lot of TV in my time. Some of this stuff is quite interesting how they do this, some of it's, just strange. And I mean, it was full on. If you never watched the show, just watch that part. And I mean, this is selling 102, because this guy was doing some major selling, but his parents was doing some real negotiating. His mother at one point said, "I'll kill myself if you marry this woman." And then he was like, "Okay, I won't marry her." Then his mother had the most, diabolical grin I ever seen on a woman. She was just like, yes, I sold him a bill of goods. But it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy how this stuff works sometimes. Bless you. Thank you. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm telling you, when you get into these situations, we're going to wrap it up. Before you get into these situations about selling, telling, all that stuff, you do your best. You do your pitch. You tell the people they have if they have an objection or two, then yes, I would point out whatever. But when people seem like they want you to kiss their backside just to sign up for a program or to whatever, or just to click on an affiliate link, I would say, nah, I'm good. I don't need this. I don't need this from you. I don't need this from anybody. That's just me. I'm just here to, let you know that if they say no, if they say maybe, You can always come back, but don't go full out, groveling, begging, standing on your head, jumping up and down, all this jazz, just say, okay, thank you for your time. That's it. Move on, move forward. Because a lot of these people are time wasters. A lot of these people are just like to sit on the fence. A lot of these people don't take action. Me and you, we are action takers because that's why we're here. And if they're not, like if they're like my brother and they go, oh maybe, I gotta think about that. It's like, well, you think about it, I'll push on, and I'll come back in a couple of weeks and, if you don't forget about them, come back in a couple of weeks, follow up in a week or so, check on them, I had to do it this week with the people I've talked to last week. I got to follow up. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna follow up this weekend, but I got distracted. I was having a nice time watching TV with my wife, and doing the podcast, of course. But anyway, that's it for today. My name is Torrenzano. Hope you enjoyed this hard-hitting episode this week. Last day of the month. We will come back tomorrow with another hard-hitting episode of the world famous, universally loved online marketing moves with your pal Torrenzano. But until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will talk to you later. And as always, everybody, peace.